And we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the Aftercast. This is episode 35, the Late Night Transformers podcast. I'm your host, Victory Saber 77, and on tonight's show, we're going to go over some hauls. We're going to go over go into the Chug line. Does it need to be kind of reinvented? Look at the Nick Turtles series and Sega Genesis also for video games and stuff like that, and then get into whatever topics we kind of get into towards the end. But I'm your host, Victory Saber 77, and if you guys want to introduce yourselves, starting off with Dalton.
I'm Dalton. You can find me on YouTube, Twitter, and on Facebook at Daltonians TFs. I've got some more reviews coming out next week. I'll have the schedule for that tomorrow.
Cool. Josh.
I go by G1Xtron. You can find me Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram, G1Hextron, and Facebook page, the G1Hextron.
Cool, and we do have some other shows. We have the eBay show, which is every other Thursday on G1 Hexatron's channel at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, and it will be airing this Thursday, October 30th. We're going to be going over Brave, so that should be really fun. We have the Cybercast, which airs every Saturday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on G1 Hexatron's channel. Also, there's also a Covenant of Primus topic show that airs on Primal Sabbath's channel every other Wednesday, which I'm assuming it's going to be this Wednesday, but not sure since he's in Chicago at TFCon having a good old time.
Loser.
Yeah, I know. But it's on his channel, Primal Sabbath's channel, at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time also. All right. Any hauls for you guys this week?
Dalton?
You got something.
Well, since I'm on my... our Walmart got the newest wave of deluxes, the September wave, so I got Windblade finally.
What? Still looking for that.
Then went up to Colorado Springs and I picked up Tiger Claw. And the Edge of Extinction Evolution Prime, which this one's automatically the best of the two.
Cool.
On Tiger Claw, do you like what they did where they added more paint apps but they took away some articulation? Or do you wish it had more articulation and less paint apps?
I'm alright with it because some of the I can work with what I've got as far as the articulation.
I mean, it's going to sit on your shelf,
Yeah, true.
It's not like Transformers where the joints are also put into the transformations. So.
Yeah,
I do wish he had a little more articulation, just because he's got guns. It'd be nice to be able to position
at
him
least
a little better.
wrist or elbow movement. Yeah, that would have been a little bit better. But if it means
the leg is perfectly fine with me. Because you're going to have him in kind of that stance anyway. But then, I look at him and his paint applications, and I look at some of the others, that we've got in the past, or even some of the ones.
Casey Jones.
Razar.
Yeah. I mean, another one that had some really good paint apps, or not really a ton, but the detail was really cool, and all the little armor pieces was Neutralizer. I really liked him. I think that Slash could have used a lot more, and I hated the way that his feet were posed too. And that's one of the characters that I think is awesome. From Vintage and also the new series, and they could have done a better job on him.
Yeah, it can be sometimes a hit and miss at times with the Playmates Turtles.
Yeah, you compare them with like Razar, and you're like, well, pretty much all the figures are better than him.
Yeah.
It's so difficult to get standing with those little bitty skinny legs. Looks screen accurate, but you can only pose them in one way.
Yeah.
So there's no reason to have, really articulation.
You get anything in this week, Josh?
I picked up something, or a couple things yesterday. Wait, anything else? No. Okay, so I got my first NECA Ninja Turtle. I got Donatello.
Cool.
That was at my Hastings, because I stopped in there to see if they had the second thing I was looking for, and it was the DC Collectibles, the new 52 Batgirl. and it looks amazing. It's awesome looking. And I was at work, so I started to open it up. At the seal, take it out of the package, pull it out, and in 5 seconds, it breaks. Her hair, you would think that the head, the way it's sculpted, you would do the head sculpt, and the hair would be attached to it. Her hair is actually a separate piece that they didn't even glue really well, and it's just like a piece that they fit on there and they glued it. And like her hair like just came right off within like 5 seconds of me holding the figure, and I know it should be a whole piece there, the entire head, but it's not. But I mean, as far as the detail of it, I mean, it looks really good. The eyes are really nice. Like they have, she has white and then the blue eyes, and you can see, the black pupil, and then you can also they have like a white speck that kind of like it's caught in the light. I think that's beautiful looking, but it's a $25 figure that broke my hand in the first 5 seconds. So now, like, she looks like she's got like a pixie cut, but there's like this gash in the back. I guess gash in the back of her head. So I don't think they didn't have another one. So I don't know. I'm just I guess try to return it. I'd like to exchange it and see if it was just that, or maybe it's a problem with all of them. But
yeah, that does suck because it's an adult collector line too, and to have that problem, yeah, just horrible.
And I still can't find a Catwoman, man. If anyone can find me a multiverse Catwoman, I need my woman.
I saw her like weeks ago before, and I should have picked her up. Now I can't find her anywhere.
I've never seen her in Texas. Like we've even gotten the new wave. Like they skipped over Catwoman.
Yeah.
And so like I've had the Scarecrow and Two-Face and Red Hood and stuff like that for a while now, and the new Arkham Batman. The newest wave, and I'm like, oh, where's the Catwoman? That's the one I want. Even though she looks ugly, but
yeah, a little derpy, but whatever.
I need her. I need my derpy Michelle Pfeiffer. I think that is the moment that released in 1992, correct? I believe it was 92.
Yeah.
So I was 10. I don't know. There's something about when I watched that movie, I felt like I became a man.
Thank you, Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah, dude. Until that point, there was Saoirse from Willow, and it was Catwoman and or Michelle Pfeiffer, and Batman Returns, to where I was just like starting to feel this. I'm no longer a boy, I'm a man, because I'm getting these like weird feelings and stuff like that.
Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer. Yeah. For me, it was I could say Michelle Pfeiffer and Cindy Crawford doing those Pepsi commercials when she drives up in that Lamborghini or Ferrari or something, that red vehicle, and those two kids are watching like it's the whole new Pepsi can, like what a nice model, and she's just drinking it, and they just get to see her.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, that is awesome. But
yeah, I remember that there were, I don't want to say like on the internet, but like there was a lot of ramblings that they were like Michelle Pfeiffer was like too sexy in the movie and stuff like that. I was like,
okay,
wow.
Yeah, there was a lot of parents opposed to their children or whatever seeing it because they were like, yeah, she's like too sexy in it. I'm like,
did they see the '60s TV show?
Oh, well, she's the hottest woman. From the '66 Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Forget her name, but dude,
All
she's
three
the
of them.
I can't remember which one. She's the hottest Catwoman. She is just gorgeous.
About Julie Newmar, the big tall one.
Yeah. Newmar. Yeah, it's her.
There's been like 3 of them in that show, or 2.
Yeah, it was.
So yeah.
You knew the Newmar from The Talent.
Yeah, the talent. She played the character perfectly. But yeah. Any other hauls?
I can't think of any right now.
All right. We're going over.
Trading this little guy with Dakota.
I saw him today.
For his 2 Thundercats.
Right on. Nice little swap.
Yeah, because he said he can find stuff like that. They got a little Batman. I'll probably go back and buy the Batman because that's the one that interests me the most. The Greedo,
Yeah.
he looks so cute, but I
Yeah,
don't
but
have
Boba
any
Fett.
attachment to Greedo.
Get the Boba Fett. That one looks pretty good.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Yeah. Um, any hauls for you, Torrance?
Afraid
Anything you get
not.
today? Or no? All right.
Afraid not.
Nope.
And my hauls are going to be for a few minutes after I've still see what all they're showing from TFCon.
Yeah. Lots of good stuff there. Quick, I guess hauls for me. I got some turtle stuff. I got finally tiger claw. I got 4 foot soldiers, foot bots, whatever you want to call them, the
Oh
robotic
yeah, I
foot
got
soldiers.
got that one too. Finally.
So, and a couple of the Super Mega Force Power Rangers legendary figures. So that was pretty cool. And then I got the proto type Boba Fett from Walgreens. So that was
Yeah,
pretty
they
bad.
had like 8 of them there, didn't they?
Yeah. Yep.
I guess at this point, I'm just gonna wait for Walgreens to ship mine on the 15th. I didn't even know it was gonna be available in store because they are like pre-order sold out. I would just think that if you pre-ordered, then you'd get it first before like stores and stuff would. Like, because it's obviously available, they have it if they're selling it in stores. Then people that pre-ordered it like 2-3 months ago should get first crack at it. I would think.
Nope. Yeah, I went to 3 Walgreens, and the last one I saw the 8 prototype Boba Fett's, and they also had a whole bunch of the Agent Venom for the Spider-Man Legends
Yeah.
lines and stuff like that. So
They're exclusive.
it wasn't too bad. But
Have you-
I was really surprised with the prices. I'm like, wow, these are like same price as Walmart, $19.99. Okay, cool.
Now,
So,
have you seen any of the Darth Vader, Chewbacca, and
no, I haven't seen that wave yet. No.
no?
Nope.
I can't find it either. I've got 2 speeder bikes sitting in my trunk waiting to like exchange. So that wave comes out.
Right on. So you are prepared. Cool.
Dude, when I find something on sale, man, and I'm like, I know something's coming out soon. I'll just buy that stuff, get it on sale, and then just leave it in the trunk unopened, waiting for it to come out, and they're like, "Yep, even exchange, please." Because then when that stuff comes out, they'll have it at full price.
Yeah.
Call me cheap, call me a cheater, but I don't pay full price for nothing.
It's funny. I went to Toys R Us today, and I found Slog, which was kind of cool. That was the second time I ever found him. But I went to 3 Walgreens, 2 Targets, a couple of WalMarts, Toys R Us. Still cannot find Age of Extinction Bumblebee. I'm just for curiosity's sake just looking around for the deluxe size Age of Extinction Bumblebee, and you can't find him anywhere. And I'm like, well, why? That's weird because usually Bumblebee is like a shelf warmer, but it was kind of interesting.
I have to dedicate a whole panel just for that figure.
So didn't find him anywhere. At least in my area, I guess we have a ton of Bumblebee fans, or I don't know, but
at my Toys R Us, the Jetfires are not moving. Either they're not selling, or every time one sells, like someone's there and puts like a new one there from the back on the shelf, which I doubt is happening, because like they're just sitting there.
Wow.
It's really good. It's good Transformer shopping at my Toys R Us. Like, so they put out the stock before they open on Thursday and Saturday. On Saturday, man, I can even if it's something hot, I can show up on Monday because I don't shop on Sunday. Like they do these hours 12 to 6. I'm like, no, you should do 11 to 6. And I come in at 11, but football starts at 12, and it's game time. But I can show up on Monday like night and like walk in there and just pick up what I want. But as far as Star Wars or Ninja Turtles, man, it's a little bit harder.
yeah, mine's the opposite. Transformers usually not a lot of stuff in there, except they still have Sunstorm, which is weird.
Yeah, we got like 8 of them.
So, but other than that, a lot of the other stuff, Transformers, Power Rangers is usually gone. Turtles got quite a bit of, but Yeah. Um, so let's move into our first topic. We'll go into the chug kind of topic since Torrance is here now, so we have a little more people to discuss it. Um, we collect it, so I'm just kind of curious. Do you think it needs to? It's kind of being not reinvented, but we're kind of getting some better characters implemented into it. But do you think it needs to be, reevaluated to the point that we're going to get maybe like Prowl, some of the other characters that we haven't seen in the Chug line for quite a while now, since the first incarnation. Um, we're getting an Optimus Prime, so that's cool. So if you're a beginner, collector, and you want to get into the, Generations line or the Chug line, the Classics Henkei Universe, Generations line, you can get an Optimus Prime. They're coming out with the Leader Class Megatron, but there's no, indication that there's going to be a Prowl, Blue Streak, a Thundercracker, any type of other characters. You think that Hasbro should maybe kind of try and recycle those characters back in, give us new molds, do something for all those new collectors?
That's a good question. Um, I feel like if they can like improve the mold. I mean, there's always room for improvement because I mean, you can ask anyone about that classics hot Rodimus mold, and yeah.
Yeah, true. But like if you were a new collector and you just decide to get into the Chug line, you'd have to go online to buy secondary prices for, let's say, a Starscream, or
Yeah.
you can wait for maybe the Leader Class that may come out. We got Thundercracker coming, so
Or
and
Inferno.
yeah, Grapple. Some of these other G1 characters. If you want. Um, so I was just kind of curious. I mean, you guys collect? How about? I know you're still trying to get some characters there, Dalton. I mean, how do you feel about it?
I feel that definitely we need to either have improvements made on the older molds or just re-release the molds, especially like Ironhide and Ratchet.
Yeah.
We see them in the IDW comics in their Cybertronian mode, but recently we've been seeing them put together as Earth modes, like with Skids and Trailcut. I don't see why we can't have that done with Ironhide, Ratchet, and Prowl.
Yeah.
And even Inferno and Grapple give them more of a regular fire truck mode instead of the weird water cannon.
I agree, especially that um, Ratchet and Ironhide mode for classics, man.
Yeah, those were just awful.
So some of the molds they did really well on, and that you can.
Hello.
I think we lost him.
Okay, so just okay.
All right. Cool. um,
Mine
some of the
does
molds
that
are
too.
really nice,
Hmm.
but I don't know. I just think that the classics line. I mean, we're seeing it with the Takara-based figures that you get those 3-packs. So they're kind of reintroducing those characters into the line.
Yeah.
Should Hasbro do something like that as far as like maybe a Toys R Us exclusive? Maybe Walmart does some Decepticons, Target does maybe Autobots, or something to that nature. I mean, it kind of sucks to have the same thing that we already were introduced to 5, 10 years ago, but it's nice to have those characters back.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd love to see that, especially with me having to backtrack so much.
Yeah, and they're not cheap. I mean,
No, surprisingly not.
A used Inferno on eBay goes for around 70 plus.
yeah, that's crazy for a chug fig.
Wait. Who goes for 70 plus?
Inferno, opened
Rip.
and used.
Wow.
Yeah,
70 plus?
$70.
Man.
Yeah, or more.
Wow.
Yeah,
'Cause
it's
the only
what?
oh, sorry. The only version I have of the mode is when I got lucky. I picked him up when they started showing up at like Ross and Marshalls for like about $15.
Yeah, you're lucky. Extremely lucky. I mean, I miss those days going to like a Ross, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and stuff, and finding some of the Universe line.
Oh
Some of the stuff
yes.
that was like Hardhead or Skyfall. Some of these like Walmart exclusives or repaints and stuff was like, oh wow, these are
Yes.
usually $30 figures, and now they're only $14.99. I'm like, oh sweet, I'm
14.99,
picking
yeah.
them up. But those days are gone. I mean, even like Wind Charger, you could go into some of those places and find him, such.
Yeah, I was never able to find Wind Charger at all anywhere.
Yeah.
Or
Hey.
Jazz.
Oh, you didn't find Jazz either?
Mm-mm. But the one I am wanting to get is the United, because I prefer that color scheme over the Hasbro.
The United. Oh yeah, you're gonna have to go online for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he goes for
And I
about 50
don't.
bucks.
Yeah, don't trying to get United Handcake because I do not envy that at all.
Yeah, because I like United Tracks, really nice because it's G1. You know, it's got the sticker, it's got the Tampograph sticker on there and all that. Looks a lot better than the Reveal the Shield. But
Dude,
Even
United
Rengar.
Bumblebee and Megatron.
really, United Bumblebee.
Yeah, because you know he's gold, right?
He's what?
He's gold.
Oh, yeah. Are you
Yeah, you
talking
get that
the?
Bumblebee. Hmm.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about because then you could change him into Goldbug.
Yeah, you
The,
get
Yeah, with the
Megatron, you go right there, right there.
yeah.
and
But
even the
that
United
figure,
Megatron.
oh yeah, the godly version, the X of the entire mold.
Mm,
Where somebody at Takara woke up one day and said, you know what, we need to do this right.
yeah. Yeah, no kidding. I mean, they screwed it up on the NK, and then I mean they were going in a better direction than obviously the classics, but then United really polished it off.
Yeah.
Really cool. But maybe the Legends, series from Takara will give us some better things, but we'll see. I mean, you guys missed out on the Robot Masters. There you go. You get, Optimus, you get Lao Convoy, you get Beast Convoy.
Beast
Everyone's
Convoy and
favorite.
Loud Convoy are good enough for me.
So,
I do not like the regular Convoy.
he's not a good figure. Period. But speaking of, and hopefully Josh comes back, because kind of wanted to get your guys' opinion too. Is the big announcement? We're getting an MP Skywarp. Granted, it's the MP11 mold, but how you guys feel about that?
I feel it's about damn time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know a
like
lot of people that
being-
have went so long on that mode, on the MP Sky, up to date Masterpiece Skyward.
Yeah. No longer using the MP3 mold, but how do you guys feel about the price though?
I'm
About
not feeling the
$200.
price.
Whoa, really?
Yep. It's
I
around
didn't look at the price
$199.
button, but man, come on. The Starscream and Thundercraft versus that mode go for that much, getting it from overseas?
Starscream, I believe so, but Starscream also came with the Coronation
Oh,
and stuff.
Yeah,
This,
Skywarp's bare bones.
yeah, Skywarp's not coming with anything except for like Megatron, I
On the
think.
stand.
Is he coming with a stand? Because
I would
Coronation
assume
Starscream
so.
didn't.
I wonder
I guess
sometimes
that's
if
just an
they
Hasbro
start
thing.
those delivery prices they know they can.
Yeah, because right now he's pre-order. You can pre-order him at Big Bad Toy Store for $199, and I'm sure TF Source is the same. Coming out in January. But yeah, I don't know. It's like I said on the Cybercast. It's really great, but it's still kind of a kick in the crotch about the whole not
Yeah.
locking chest. But the price, I think, more so. If we're not getting a stand, if we're not getting any, I mean, the Coronation set doesn't work. I mean, that's fine, but like, is he coming with missiles? Is he coming with, I mean, something else? We'll see.
I thought looking at the thing that there was a little white outline around something. I thought that was like a invisibility or warping effect type thing that they're adding in with it, but never tell.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's kind of weird. It's
Yeah.
like for Mirage when he comes out, we're gonna have a little box that he can
Hmm.
put him in so he can kind of go invisible or something. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's oh man, I don't know. It's like I'm I pre-ordered it, so that's a gimme. But whether or not I keep it, we'll see. You kind of have a feeling that will Hasbro release it at Toys R Us? You know, give us maybe a stand or maybe some other stuff, whatever it may be, but kind of tweak the paint job just a tad bit, maybe give him a little more purple
Yeah,
or
give
a
them
lighter purple or maybe a darker. I don't know, something different face sculpt. I don't know, but that's kind of a long shot since they have been giving us pretty much the Rainmakers. So I don't know.
we're more likely to get Ice Storm or whatever his name is before we ever get a Skywarp from Hasbro.
Yeah, most likely. But I thought that was interesting. It was really cool news, but it was like, okay. I mean, it's the same thing. Like we all saw that we're supposed to be getting a reissued version of Megatron in a way, MP Megatron, but then it's gold.
Yeah,
Um,
I laughed at that.
it's just really we're getting a gold Megatron that is the same price as Skywarp, $200.
So I can see that because it's a much larger figure, or
Yeah,
around the
Yeah.
same-ish size, a little bit bigger.
yeah, but and he's not. He's getting all the same accessories. He's coming with the Crimzeek. He's coming with the little pistol gun and energon mace, all that type of stuff. So he's got all the accessories there, but I don't know. Gold? Ugh, I don't really care. I'm not a huge fan of the Golden Lagoon episode. I mean, but I don't know. Kind of odd. But just kind of
Yeah,
curious if you guys are kind of on board with Skywarp. Not. Oh, Josh is back. We'll get his opinion.
I'll just stick with the ratio of Prime.
Cool.
Sorry, I was
Yeah.
piggybacking on Trence's internet connection there.
Yeah.
Right on. We're kind of just talking about the Skywarp, the MP Skywarp. Kind of going more in depth on that.
Oh, can I answer the old question? Because I was talking for just a second there, and then I
Yeah,
was
go
like,
for it.
saw Dalton's face freeze on me. And I was like, but no one else was moving either. And I was like, I think this is a me problem here. But I was gonna say, like, as far as the generations, like a lot of the figures they did right, and you see that they're not making them exactly like they did in G1. Like you'll see Scourge and Cup. But and
Yeah.
they're making their own like new interpretations of it. But like Cup is genius or Sergeant Cup or whatever you want to call him. But I think he looks good in his alt mode, his robot mode, and that's something that you could definitely pass for. Scourge, I wish it was a little bit more G1 style, but I totally get the mold, and I think it's a nice mold. Uh, there are some, on the other hand, that aren't as good, and you guys have mentioned them and stuff like that. And there's some stuff that really doesn't make sense, like forget exactly which ones or what, but like Grapple should have the hook, Inferno the ladder, and Inferno instead of a water cannon should have a ladder and stuff like that.
Hmm.
You know, there's a little different things. I didn't hear all what you guys were saying, but um, I guess that I just abused my internet so much in the past like 3 hours that it had to take a break. It had to reset itself.
Right
Now,
on.
going back to that, I'd really love to see them put out an Ultra Magnus that actually had the trailer for the Chug line. That way, people don't have to hunt down the Target exclusive or the Asian exclusive with the Fans Project armor.
Yeah.
You can always go with Transformazing Toys add-on too. Which isn't it just the add-on now? It's just add-on pieces. Like they were originally, it was going to be like $200 or $190, and going to be the trailer and do all these extra and turn into a base, and then also be armor. And then they were like, "Oh, people are freaking out over the price, so we'll just make it armor." I think that's what happened.
Oh yeah, the Pandora's box.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Transformazing Toys.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
No, I'd rather it become some sort of trailer.
All right, so going to the Skywarp. What was the question?
Well, we just got the announcement, and we kind of talked about it on the Cybercast, but I was just getting their views on, is it worth the $200? Is you think because of the hype that we've wanted it so bad for so long that pretty much MP collectors are willing to pay the price, even though it's bare boned?
And will we be getting a Hasbro version?
Yeah. Will we be getting that too?
It's really hard. I mean, as a collector and completist, if you're a completist, you want it. Some people will be like, "Man, I'm fine with my what was the other one? Was it 06?
MP06, I think. MP6, yeah.
6? So some people will be like, I'm cool with that. Me, I needed my secrets to all look the same, except for the cone heads obviously need to be different. And that's kind of the road that I've gone down and took myself down. And I'm cool with paying $75 for Sunstorm and Acid Storm, Thundercracker even. I had to shell off the $200 for Starscream, but and it took me a while. It took a re-release of that for me to get on that. And I'm glad I have them all, and they look cool. But we have the chest issue. So I mean, like some of these new things, like whenever you first heard you were getting an MP10, it was you were excited about it. When you first heard you were getting a Soundwave, you're excited about it. Or even some of the smaller things, but let's stick on these like $200 price point things. The Star Saber, we're excited about it. But if we knew that there were all these, like, we know there's issues going in because we've already had this mold like 4 times already or 5 times, however many it's been, and so we've obviously transformed it. So there's no really enjoyment there. We're familiar with it. We can do it in our sleep. And still have to pay that $200. I mean, I can find a lot of different things that I'd rather spend $200 on. Because at this point, I'm just getting it just to be like, all right, there you go, sit on the shelf with your bros, and because that's all I can see myself doing. I might not even transform the thing. I'll probably do a review, and that'd be the one time I transform it. I don't need to practice it. It's just like, all right, press record, go. All right, this is my first time. Blah blah blah. It'll go back in robot mode and go on the shelf and never be touched again. And you spent $200. That's that's quite a big chunk of change, for the or any collector, unless you like collect cars or something like that. Then $200 isn't a lot, but you look at all these new things that are coming out for TFCon. You look at Star Saber, $170. Would you rather have a new mold and all the things that he comes with, $170, or a Skywarp for around the same price or maybe even more? You already got the mold. What's up?
Oh, I was just about to say, and not to mention, somebody's been showing, what is it, like 2 Masterpiece MP10 size Megatron they've been at TFCon?
Yeah, there's third parties making an MP10 scale Megatron, which is cool, but yeah, it gets tiresome when you see a figure that it's using the same mold and it's nothing really unique about it, and it's Skywarp. He should have came out at least at $149 or something. I mean, Sound Blaster is cheaper, and he comes with at least Rat Bat, which everyone wants. and it's just seems kind of I don't know what Takara's thinking.
You've made your money on the mold.
Yeah, definitely.
Plus, you've got one Starscream, you've got one Thundercracker out there, you've got what is it, 2 Acid Storms? Did they go ahead and go through with the Takara Acid Storm, or was the Hasbro cell not as good? I forget, but we got 2 Sunstorms. You know, I mean, you've had multiple molds of this thing, so I mean, you definitely got your money out of it. At this point, you can only assume they're going to come out with Ice Storm. And like we said on Cybercast, is there, you know, when you come with the cone heads, they'll retool the wings, they'll retool something to do with the head, but the rest of it they're going to keep pretty much the same. And so you're going to end up buying this mold if you're a completist 9 different times.
Can we say classics Seeker mold syndrome? Because that's what it seems like that's going to happen to the Masterpiece one.
I've gotten already to that point with all the ones of MP3.
Yeah. At least with MP3, I mean, we got what, the 3 different Starscreams, we got Thundercracker, Skywarp, 2 different Skywarps, and Thundercracker. But I don't know. I mean, I guess someone in the designing process for MP11 thinks that the chest part's not that big of a deal. Come and flip it up and down. It's just, who cares?
It's just that they don't, like, a couple years, like they get the Skywarp and the Ice Storm out there, and maybe even the Coneheads, who knows, but a couple years down the line, or 3 years down the line, they say, all right, we've got a new MP whatever Seeker, chest is fixed, you know, and stuff like that. Well, they have to do a lot more than just fix the chest. I mean, I like the look of the thing is, I like the look of the jet, I like the look of the bot, but it's got problems, and I have a lot of the mold, and I don't even get excited about the mold like I did with Lambor. I still need Tiger Track, and I know whenever I get Tiger Track, I'm going to be excited to mess with that thing, even though I've messed with the mold several different times. Because they even changed stuff with that up. If you look at, you know, Red Alert and Lambor, or, you know, and Sideswipe are completely different. Look at the G2, he comes with different accessories, and he also has a little bit different look to him. Even the KO Gold version, you know, is something a little bit different as well, you know.
Oh yeah. It's just, the biggest gripe also would be that, let's say Takara decides, we hear the fans, we're going to redo the Seekers. Now there's a potential spot that could have been used for some other character, that now is not going to be made because they're now redoing the damn Seekers. So either we're looking at it like that's what they're going to do later on, or this is what we're stuck with. They found a mold that works, and that's what we're going to do.
How many Hasbro Masterpiece releases do we get a year? Like 3? Is it 3?
3 this year.
Okay. So, and the thing is, here in the past few years, one of those has been a Seeker. Like the last 3 years, one has always been Thundercracker, Acid Storm, Sunstorm.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'd like 3 of something else. You know, like you're taking one of our selections to get something at a reasonable price, $75. You know, you're taking one of those away by giving us another Seeker. It's also unfair to people overseas because, you know, it's gonna cost them almost just as much, you know, import that sucker. You know, the thing that we gripe about as far as Takara importing, that's what they, you know, have a problem with as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. If I was in Japan, I'd be like, I don't need to import no Hasbro thing. I got Takara here, which has better paint and everything else. I'd be like, you know, people.
I remember I shipped a MP Thundercracker to Action Jackman, and man, that shipping was expensive. It was, I think it was like $25, almost $30 or something like that.
Oh yeah. and then he has to pay other costs on top of that to.
He's got to pay all these because they have different laws and
Yeah.
shipping into it, so he's got to pay like these extra like taxes and stuff like that on top of the figure being $75, or I think it was $70 at that point. But
Yeah.
so it was $100 plus any extra taxes and things like that.
Real
Still cheaper than $200.
Yeah. Real quick, this wasn't on one of the topics that I wanted to talk about, but I'm going to mention it right now. Because Ultra Magnus is going to be coming out soon. Masterpiece Ultra Magnus. Within, I mean, first we're getting Bumblebee, then Magnus. But I'm going to throw out a what if. If you're familiar with Marvel comics, they always do a line called "What if." What if Ultra Magnus was actually the one that was going to actually carry the Matrix? And justifying it off of the fact that if you look from Ultra Magnus, I mean, it's based off a Diaclone, powered convoy. He has a robot, and then his trailer transforms into a super robot. He can, they combine into a super robot. You see that in Master Force. I mean, you don't technically, I guess maybe you could see it with, I don't know, Fortress Maximus, who's the headmaster. He transforms with, Space Battleship Maximus and becomes Fortress Maximus. But then you got Jinrai with his trailer becomes Super Jinrai. Then you also, if you want, take Star Saber with his V-Star. He becomes, his battled up form.
So,
Would it have been believable if Ultra Magnus would have taken the reins instead of Rodimus and gone that route? Because if you look at Ultra Magnus' character in comic books or even in the cartoon, he is a very leader, not flawed, obviously. Not as flawed as Rodimus, let's say. But you gravitate towards him if you happen to be a follower, an Autobot, let's say. You look up to him. You would follow him into battle if he says, "Let's go." Well, there's a million Decepticons. Oh, let's do it. Okay, I trust you. We're going. Type attitude. So I'm just kind of curious. What if they went that route? Would it have been believable with Ultra Magnus in the next leader?
I personally would have liked to have seen it. I'm being totally biased here. I would have liked to have seen it, but the reason they didn't do it is because they would have been replacing one character with someone who was almost exactly like him. Because for all intents and purposes, Magnus Optimum maintaining.
Or what?
He pretty much was what Grimlock called him in the convention comics. He was Optimus Jr.
Okay. Yeah. I can see that, but here's the thing too, though. We get Optimus. We can't live without Optimus Prime in any type of incarnation of any series and such. But it just seems like it would have been kind of cool to just kind of pass the torch on to from the Dreamwave comics, his brother, R.I.D.
Yeah.
and such, to Ultra Magnus and have Rodimus be Rodimus, but then be flawed to the point that he's not the one to open up the Matrix. It was actually Ultra Magnus, let's say. Such.
Well, I definitely like the Hot Rod character they did better than Rodimus. Well, at least in season 3. The 86 movie was alright, but here's a couple things. Is we know Ultra Magnus, red, white, and blue.
Yep.
American flag colors. It would seem that would be, for us here in America, that would be the leader. The one to take the torch. You also, referring to Marvel, Captain America, red, white, and blue. It's just that's what we kind of look at, and that's like our hero, right? Well,
yes.
Them going the Japanese route of Rodimus, as we know they like the little kind of flawed characters. Especially you see it with the Japanese. Transformers, like with Jinrai, he's got his flaws in the beginning, then he becomes this. It's the struggle in the begin makes the success at the end a lot better, and to where Ultra Magnus, like, you just already went into it thinking that, all right, well, he could just step right up and take care of the job, to where you would take out some of that, you would take out a lot of that struggle, uh, with Ultra Magnus. So I don't think it would appeal as much. One, because of the colors. The second, because of there's really no struggle and he's not doubting himself and stuff like that. To people in Japan and overseas, I think
that's
doing
their
it to
separate
Ultra
story,
Magnus,
though. That could be their separate story. I'm talking like here.
in America, Ultra Magnus would have been like the go-to. And if it was just an American-based cartoon, then you would have had a season 4 and a 5. Who knows? Because they actually went on for, back then, right after the kind of G.I. Joe, Transformer, He-Man era. Like, seasons there was a bunch of seasons. Like, you look at Ninja Turtles, so whenever you got in the late 80s, early 90s, and they started coming out with, like, there's things that have like 7, 6, 8 seasons, and for something like Transformers that has, like, I do not count 3 episodes a season. I just can't get my head around that. But 3 seasons and then 3 episodes, that's really short-lived, to be honest, for then, or it would be in the late 80s, early 90s. For a franchise that we're still talking about here 30 years later, and it's got the biggest movie in the box office and all this other stuff, you'd be like, if you told a kid back then that, yeah, this cartoon only went for 3 seasons, they'd be like, what? I would think it went for like 15 or something like that, as popular as it is. So if it was American-based, Ultra Magnus would have been the way to go.
It would have fit the toy scheme a little bit better. City Commander taking on Galvatron.
More in Skull.
Yeah. I mean, it just seemed like that might have been the way that they were going to go.
And that's how they were introduced.
Yeah, they were gonna go with that, but then they changed it.
It just seems kind of odd that they decided to go that route. And regardless, Rodimus to this day is always, no offense to Proto Man, but a pain in the ass. I mean,
and the other thing is, it was mainly the 86. Here's part of it, and I'm not saying that this is fact, but I will lay the breadcrumbs out, and then you can just kind of pick them up and put it together however you want. But the 86 animated movie, prior to that, was mostly Hasbro, like, we're buying some Macross stuff, some Bandai stuff, some Toy Box, Toy Co. We're going to buy Diaclone. We're going to buy Gun Robo. All these companies that are licensing out to make their figures and stuff. And the 86 animated movie, Hasbro decided they're going to make their own figures. Okay? And we're going to, that's why you got your Cup, your Blur, your Hot Rod, all those guys. And they were like, this is how we're going to make the big push. I think originally it was supposed to be Ultra Magnus and Galvatron, which is, the Hasbro. And they're in this high scale together as well. And you got to think that that's probably why they wanted to do that. But Ultra Magnus was originally a Diaclone figure. Mm. They probably thought that the two pieces of the franchise need to be Hasbro, is the way they probably thought of it. And so that they're like, all right, well, let's get this guy, and how do we make that hot rod thing, like a truck? Well, there you go. You know, and they kind of kept it at that same scale. So I think that that's the reason. Again, I'm not saying that it is. I haven't ever talked to anyone at Hasbro about this. But if you think about it, I'm laying the breadcrumbs here. You pick them up, put it together however you like. That makes sense, right?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. I wish that they would have gone into what the prototypes of what Rodimus could have become. Fire truck. That's Duke Fire from J. Decker. I mean, there was rumor, but
Really?
you know, he was gonna kind of be that type of character, and or look that way. That would have been kind of cool. But
What character is that?
Duke Fire from J Decker, he's the fire truck
Really?
with
Okay.
the little ambulance that they combined together. So you got Fire Rotor with Duke. So, but
Nothing like the Rodimus that you know. So
no. But they didn't go that route. I'm pretty sure that's because of maybe Fire Convoy. I don't know. I don't know the whole story about all that kind of stuff. But I was just kind of curious because I've been looking at the Diaclone, and just if they went that route. I mean, the Diaclone, they finally put it into the comics. Power Convoy as what was it, Delta Magnus? He was a guy that was leading
Yeah.
the people and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. And I just was kind of curious about that whole thing. But
You know, it's funny you mentioned that because for a sec, I remember as a kid for a second there, somehow it kind of got leaked out that Galvatron was Megatron 2.0. So for a second there, before the movie came out and I had seen pictures of the Ultra Magnus toy, I was kind of wondering, I was like, okay, is Ultra Magnus Optimus Prime rebuilt?
yeah, they could have gone that route.
and
There
Ultra
was,
Magnus was going to be different colors too originally. They changed it at
Yeah,
the
Die
last
Club.
bit.
he was gonna be the Diaclone.
There was a lot
That's
of
kind of a cool.
last minute things going on.
Yeah, and I believe you because sometimes I think maybe either the toys come out or the artist does the what is it the character markups before the toy comes out because just look at Galvatron as the main reason. Even to this, I'm like, okay, why does the toy look so different from the cartoon?
Yeah, yeah, that's just the way they did it. I mean, you look at Ironhide and Ratchet. They
Oh yeah,
incorporated that into the Marvel comic books for a little bit, but then they changed them to look more like the cartoon base. But it was like, as a kid, you're 6 years old and you're getting Ironhide and you're going, Mom, are you smoking
where's
something?
the
Because this isn't Ironhide. Where's the rest of him? Where's his head? Oh, it's this little sticker I put inside? What the hell? This isn't cool.
yeah
He rides around in I didn't think he was in some type of little chair, like, track thing. He was a
yeah
strong guy that
horrible.
threw out a whole bunch of liquids at you and, had a cowboy accent and all this kind of stuff, and he's a little rinky-dink dude.
Man, I feel sorry for anyone that like their first Transformer was like Ironhide or Ratchet. Like the just
Oh yeah.
it's like, all right, man, I'm ready because all the rest of them they pretty much at least in some way represented not what you saw on screen, and you're like,
Braun.
okay,
Braun was horrible too.
vehicle who?
Braun with
Yeah.
his crappy-looking arms. That was horrible.
Well, the mini bots, I don't count them.
Okay, all right. Okay, Jetfire.
There was a lot of them that they represent pretty decent, but I can imagine that you get Ironhide or Ratchet as your first Transformer toy back in the '80s and want to really even continue. You're like, they're all like this. I mean, it's the same way that people, and we were talking about, to Omnigonics about this. It's that first thing that you put out. Like you are the person that when you put that first product out there, you set the bar because everyone is gonna refer to you as what you did that first time. Like Doc of Toys, man, they crushed themselves. Impossible Toys, they were one of the first third-party companies, but quality wasn't high on the list. So anything that came out after that first product, they were like, well, it's cool, but they make crappy quality. And they just, even if they made something that was great quality, people still refer to Impossible Toys as crappy quality. So it's all about that first thing. So if your first impression with G1 Transformers as a kid was Ironhide, you gotta be like,
Oh no,
all
yeah.
right, well, I guess I'm gonna switch over to this He-Man and G.I. Joe thing because
I'm gonna go with GoBots because they look at least
Yeah.
what they look like on the show.
go on something. I forget all the different like non-Transformers that there were.
Oh yeah.
There's a bunch of them. I was thinking about we should do that sometime. Look at those.
There were some good Transformers. I mean, still, again, if you got them, it's like this kind of sucks because they weren't in the TV show. I mean, like Roadbuster Whirl or the deluxe, Insecticons, all those, and you're like, oh, I got an Insecticon. Wait, his name's Venom. I'm waiting. I haven't seen him. Like you're anticipating the next Saturday he's going to debut because you saw him in the, because usually when you see stuff in on the shelves, he's gonna debut in the cartoon soon, or something to that nature, and you're like waiting. You're like waiting. I'm like, okay, who's this? No one knows this Venom character. It's only Shrapnel and Bombshell and all these other guys. I got
even
this crappy thing.
some of the Omnibots never appeared, did they? Or
No.
were they all?
Nope, I do not remember seeing.
You also
Omnibots.
you also have some figures that came out, the monsters that were Rapungus and Double Cross. Those guys.
Double Cross, yeah.
Okay, that I don't believe showed in the American release version of the cartoon, and you're like, well, these guys never showed up. But if you watch the Japanese Headmaster series, they actually were in there.
Yep.
Oh, so they did show up? Okay.
Yep.
And the Japanese Headmasters. But like we don't find that out, or at least I didn't until I don't know, a couple of years ago when the DVD subtitle release came out and I bought it.
Yeah.
I just thought they never came out.
If you're watching this and you've never experienced a Japanese series, and you're a avid G1 fan, check it out because it will surprise you. You watch Headmaster, and you're like, whoa.
Got Battle Bees.
Yeah, these guys are alive. The Headmasters and all this other type of stuff. Cup never became a target master. Cyclonus, Scourge, Hot Rod, Blur never. Rodimus is the one who killed or destroyed Cybertron. What's going on here? And he leaves. It's just weird.
You see why there's a Funcast and Sound Blaster? That story is explained in like a second or third episode.
Wheatley's not so annoying in a way.
It really is annoying in that.
Well, at least he doesn't rhyme.
Did they ever show characters like Sure Shot, Crosshairs, and Point Blank?
Go watch the show.
Okay.
They're an elite team. Blanker, Sure Shot, and
like they almost look down upon the Headmasters like they're not as good as them.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they're like, I don't know, like the SEALs looking down on just your normal, everything.
Let's not forget two of the most popular wreckers, Whirl and Roadbuster.
Yeah, they were never in there though.
Never. Not one.
You also have the Dualcons or whatever, to where you had Flywheels and Battle Trap. They were in there as well.
Mm-hmm. It was just really cool. It's worth watching. It's worth checking out.
More character expansion with the clones and stuff like that, and then
Punch Counter Punch was better.
Yeah, Punch Counter Punch is really good in there.
And the animation on the
Six Shot went from American release not saying a single word to that he is like on the cover and like the main character.
Yeah.
He did say a couple words in Rebirth.
He did?
Yeah, when he took it out the robot or something like shooting ducks, cyber ducks in the barrel, something like that.
Oh, yeah. I think I remember.
And he was actually looked like he was a little bit bigger than a Cyrus. Right? The toy was huge.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, they're never in scale, which is what's fun about it. But
the anime for the toy commercials was. Oh man, I was like, can we ever get a cartoon episode that looks like that?
Oh yeah. Like even when G.I. Joe would do their commercials for their toys or their comic books, if you want to continue the story, check out the Marvel comic books, or all that kind of crap. It's like, damn, this animation looks good. Like, what the hell?
Then you see the actual cartoon, like, what
And it's like,
the
well, I
heck?
got gypped, you know.
Yeah,
But
you misled me.
I missed commercials for toys. I mean, like, it's just, even toy catalogs, the little, not the like, I mean, the Sears stuff and all that kind of stuff, but like even the catalogs for just the figures that would come with the Transformers, so you can kind of go through. You got
Yeah,
the checklist on there. You can kind of go through all of it.
they don't even do that anymore.
It's like, come on, give us some leaflet, something in there, but whatever. But
Got a couple comments for you. Sokai Kun 951 says was lucky enough to get a used Inferno for $30, which is a good deal for me. Inferno, I wonder if that's like a G1 or.
talking generations back in the day, we were talking about
Okay.
generations when you weren't young.
Okay. Then you have Donabot Maximize. Have you guys seen the upgrade kit for G1 Ratchet and Ironhide where you can give them a head and all? Yeah, there's two different ones. There's the one where you can actually give them a head, and then there's also another upgrade to where you can actually give them the head and actual arms as well.
Yep.
About
This,
20 years later.
Yeah, I know, but yeah.
It says, also, have you seen an upgrade kit for Evocation Mode Optimus Prime to make him God Jinrai? Yes, that's by DX9.
I'll admit, it looks good.
Yeah, I'm definitely picking it up.
Some reason I bought my first Bayformer. I just need Jinrais in my life. Jinrais and Six Shot and Galvatron.
You need to get the.
characters, in my opinion. Those are my three favorite characters.
Who was it? CMS? Did they do? They did the two. Unfortunately, they did Jinrai and they did Minerva, right? In their human Godmaster form.
Yeah,
You got to pick up that Jinrai.
I need
Someday.
to. I saw it cheap one time, but there was like a bunch of. It was one of those months where like I spent like $1,000 or something like that. I was like, God dang it! But like there was just so much like coming out that I had to like saved up so that I could like buy for that one month that it was all coming out. And I saw them for like $80, and I was like, man, I just can't afford it. It's like there's just I've pinched every penny I could. I could not do it. And so if I see them, for a good price again, I'm not paying whatever $200 for
Oh God, no.
For real.
a Ken doll with armor. I'm not doing that.
Pretty much. A well-articulated Ken doll.
Yeah.
With armor, but yeah. Yeah, I know. I mean, like, I would love to get that, but yeah, every time I want to get something, I'm like, oh crap, I need to go check the pre-orders, see if I have anything coming out. I'm like, oh crap, I have like this month, I have the Sola Chigokin God Mars. Like, oh, that's $200. Shoot, what am I gonna? Can't get that now. Can't get as many foot soldiers, or anything like that. But it's all good.
I hate, to be honest, I hate the pre-orders to where I have to wait till it comes in before they charge me. I just want charge me right then. Let me just pay for it, like, or let it, like what TF Source used to do is they would just like if you add it to your stack, they could come in and then like it could set up in there until 3 months before they would just automatically charge you. So you could gather whatever you wanted, within 3 months' time and say ship it. And I would just always wait until I hit 150 so I get free shipping.
Mm-hmm.
Then they, and that's how I pay for things. And then they started a thing to where you prepay for your pre-orders. And I actually prefer that over I pre-order this and you charge me whenever it's shipped, because now I just gotta always just like I want this, but I don't know if like with the Batman animated series stuff that they're coming out with, I don't know if you're gonna come out with all 10 at the same time or are you coming out with 2, because like I need to keep anywhere from $25 to $300 in here, just extra. Just I don't know what is coming out, for that time period.
Mhm.
Otherwise, if they were like, "Hey, you can pay for it all now," I just buy it all now. That way, now I'm free to do with my money as I want.
Yeah, it is nice, but I the flip side of that I don't like is the fact that if they don't get it in, and other people are getting it and it's now pre-ordered again, and I'm like, what the hell? You shipped stuff out and you didn't ship mine out. What's going on? Well, we didn't have enough stock. Well, then I've already paid for mine too. I want my money back so I can go somewhere else and get it. Or what if they never get it in? It's just a lot of hassle that you have to keep money aside if you're a business to give out all those refunds to everyone and to keep track of it and such. But yeah, I get what you're saying because it's nice if you didn't have that cash. You don't have to worry about it. It's set. Move on to the next thing, and you know how much you'll have.
Horrible. Like I'll see all these little things, like like I went into Hastings. I was like, let me see if they got this Batgirl, and I picked her up, and then I was like, oh crap, man, there's one of those naked turtles. I've never even seen one of those things in like real life. So, like, let me grab that. That was freaking $30, So just it adds up, and the funny thing with Hastings is that they were like, the Batgirl like in store was $25. And I was like, do you guys price match your own stuff? I was like, that seems so weird to say. Like, do you guys price? I don't know, because online he's 19.33 or something like that. Like like basically $19, and he's $6 more here. And the guy said, no, we don't. I was like, you don't find that weird that you guys don't match your own prices? Like, that shouldn't even be a thing. He goes, well, his answer, and whoever told him to give this answer, I don't know if he came up with this on his own, but it's absolutely poor. He said, well, that way when people order online with the shipping, it kind of like evens out. I said, so you're telling me because I'm buying this in store that I'm paying for shipping in store? So I'm paying your shipping? And like he was just like, all right, your total $60. Like, he was done with that conversation. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. I would have just said, so I could have just been at home and I would have never had to have talked to you and wasted 15 minutes and intelligence.
Set in line for 15 minutes, all that stuff.
I've done that at Walmart. I will have my phone out and be like, I'll look at a game and it's like, dude, it's only like $19.99. You're selling it for $39.99. We don't price match what we have online. But it says here I can order it, which will probably get pulled from your store because I can do site to store. I can buy it online and I can have it shipped to the store, and you're just basically going to pull it from a local Walmart, and I can pick it up probably tomorrow. But yet you can't just do it right now. Like, that doesn't make sense. That's like, Best Buy will do it. Toys R Us will do it, but like Walmart doesn't do it. Target doesn't do it. At least Target didn't do it.
It doesn't make sense. It's like some of you guys will even price match other stores, but you won't price match your own store.
Yeah, that's really weird.
They're like, that's online prices only. Then why the hell do I need to come here anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never understood that either. I mean, I like places like Fred Meyer's. If there's a sale the next day, you can go back and you can get your refund off the difference if you bought it and all that kind of stuff within a week period with the receipt. I'm like, oh, this is nice. Cool. And other stores are just like, no, if you want to buy it for that price, you got to buy it online. So I'm always tempted at times when I'm like there at the register, okay, hold on for a second, and just buy it on my phone. Okay, you can put this back now. Thanks. And just leave. And just like, screw you.
Yeah.
Sitting in the checkout.
Just being an ass, but I don't know. Okay, let's move on to the next topic, which is we're going to talk about the third season of the Nick Turtles.
Ooh.
So hurry up, Josh. Go back. Ooh, hurry up. Get more whatever you need. But we're already what? I think 5 episodes in. 4 or 5, something like that.
3 or 4, yeah.
Yeah. But just going to talk about like where it's going. Do you kind of like, I mean, the whole cliffhanger from season 2 carrying over into season 3, Farmhouse, any figures out of season 3 so far that you might want to see in toy form? Or is there anything, we haven't gotten yet from the previous seasons that, would would be nice to see in toy form, like the Krangs in their human form. We haven't seen those yet, or heard anything.
Karai in human form.
Yes, Karai. Yeah, that would probably be number one. Big time. And then we'll get into, more Transformer topics or anything else you guys want to talk about. Stuff, so.
I'd like to see the Creep.
Oh, the Creep from the first episode, season 1.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, episode 1 from season 3.
Mm.
Yep, I love that. That was a great homage to Friday the 13th. Loved it.
And Man-Thing from Marvel, too.
Oh, yeah. It was good.
And then this last week's episode, homaging The Thing and Silent Hill, both in the same episode.
Yeah. With April's mom. Is that April's mom? That one? No. Which one was? We talking with the?
It was, but it wasn't.
It was. Yeah, it was a clone or whatnot. But what about Bigfoot? We all like Bigfoot. We want a Bigfoot figure.
No significance there. That's just straight up filler episode.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. It made Donnie appreciate April more, though. Let's put it that way. But I don't know.
Well, especially what was teased in last week's episode at the very end. Punk frogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna get Napoleon Butterfrog or whatever his name is.
Bonafrog, yep.
And you're also going to get Gecko, whatever his name is. I forgot his name. I had it. You know what I'm talking about? The dude on the skateboard?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about now. Mondo Gecko.
Yeah, Mondo Gecko. We're going to get him too.
Sweet.
But we're just going to go over kind of the season 3 stuff there, Josh. So,
Oh, that's not season, that is season 3.
yeah. What would you like to see? Do you like what's going on in season 3 so far?
I like the nod to the original Ninja Turtle movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see even more little nods where Casey Jones like fixing the van or whatever, and like Donnie's like sitting in the driver's seat, like just talking to him about nothing. I think that would be fun. I don't know. It's fine, but I think somewhere at the midpoint they need to get back into the city.
Yeah.
And
Let's
Leo
explore
back.
some of these country swamp characters or whatever. Like the frog, the gecko, and stuff like that. And then let's get back into the city, because it just feels like there's more action. Maybe because like I'm a city person, like I hate the country. I just think it's boring out in the country. It just
Okay.
I don't know. It just always seems like you always gotta create something or make something up to do to entertain yourself. To where in the city, like you can just walk around and just even admire whatever, buildings and their architecture. There's all different types of stuff you could do, and there's all something. So I don't know. That's just me.
All right. So cool. We need to get back into the city. Yeah, I kind of like what they're doing. I think hopefully they're not going to drag it out too much longer. I want Leo back to, back up to form and not be kind of a crutch, I guess, for the team. But
He's
or
gonna
see
fight
something.
that like mutant Casey Jones figure.
He's going to do what?
There's like a little preview to where he's like battling a like kind of a swamp thing, Casey Jones.
Yeah. That was episode 1, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole Friday the 13th homage thing.
Well, in my area, the company that I'm with, they took away Nickelodeon and Comedy Central, all this stuff. So I gotta find these episodes on like illegal.
I can send you a link.
sites to watch them. So maybe they don't have them in order, or I don't know. Maybe I
Okay.
need to go
Yeah.
check. So
I can send you a link after.
Yeah, that was the first episode where Leo had to come out of. He had to help him out. Raph gets transformed and all that, but I won't spoil it since if you haven't seen it still.
yeah, I haven't even seen that. Then I've seen the latest one where like the mom thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
I don't think I liked that one too much. It kind of seemed like a little throw-in episode, like it was just a waste. Or not a waste, but it was one of those, like, this isn't like doing anything for the overall progression of the story. It's just, here's an episode.
Especially episode 2 with Bigfoot.
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 Yeah. You haven't seen that episode either? Bigfoot falls in love with Dunny.
No, I hadn't seen that either. Dude,
Yeah, we watched that.
definitely, they screwed us over. The Viacom, they said that they wanted like double the amount or something like that. And the cable company, they were like, no. But still, I'm paying the same price. Actually, they increased our bill like a couple months ago. And then they took away Spike, Comedy Central, Nickelodeon, like all these channels. But then they said like we're giving you like some like I don't know indie like Canadian channels or something that make up. I was like, what the heck is this?
Interesting. But you got some catching up to do.
Yeah.
But I think, let's say this. Do you like the fact that they're doing a lot of homages to movies, like the whole April thing being The Thing, and prior to that in season 2 we saw like, Big Trouble in Little China, we see in, Friday the 13th, or should they stay away from that, or is it really comedy, centered and we need to keep that in there type of, storyline?
I think they're doing fine. I mean, you even had some of that, back in the vintage line as far as like some of the figures, the way that it is. Even if you look at like Wingnut, like he's a bat, but he's got like the '66 Batman outfit basically on, with the colors and stuff like that. So they've done little things like that before. Muckman, you could, from the vintage line, you could be like, well, that's basically like a weird swamp thing or something like that. So
Yeah, it's just it's genius in ways because how they incorporate it into it is just at times. Is season 3 just all going to be about movie references, or like what movie are they kind of trying to portray in here, or what are the little nods and all that kind of stuff? And I mean, it's good, but I don't know. I'm kind of like with you, Josh. I want them to get back into the city, get back to taking on Shredder, the whole Karai thing, all that type of stuff. Would be kind of nice, but I don't know. We'll see. All right. Well, can't really dive too much into that since Josh hasn't seen a lot of the episodes. So,
yeah, I'll leave if you need me to. Like,
no,
I've had like 3 hours. I had a 3-hour nap. Other than that, I've been up since like 6 p.m. yesterday.
well, we've been going on for almost an hour and a half, so we're probably gonna end it anyway. So,
A couple of comments. BVZXA3. I don't know why I struggle with that so much. I'm sorry, man. But Six Shot was a man in Japanese Headmasters. My first encounter with Japanese Transformers was when I was in college in '96. I was fortunate enough to see an episode of Master Force. It changed my whole life.
yeah. The sad thing is, I never got to see any of that stuff until like finally got like the internet, finally came about, which was
Yeah.
late, 90s or whatever, or getting in the dorms and all that kind of stuff, and just like perusing around trying to find stuff. But
It was weird because even a kid, I something like maybe I missed the TV show so much. I was dreaming about there were like these new episodes that was coming on, and then like years later, when the internet got real big, you started be able to put streaming video on at a good speed. I kept hearing about headmasters and did my research. I'm like, wait a minute, you mean to tell it was like 3 series after it over here in America?
Oh yeah. I mean, like, even when you saw the Rebirth, the intro to Rebirth is kick ass. I think
Yes,
it's
it is.
really done well, and you really have high hopes for the show because you're like, oh my goodness, especially when Fort Max transforms and you see like, the target masters come out and then they flip off and they become the guns and all that. And I'm like, wow, looks really cool. Then you get into the show and you're like, what the hell happened? What's going on here?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were gonna do a full American season. Then they were like, okay, we're we're only gonna do 5 episodes, and then like at like last minute they're like, okay, it's gonna be only 3 episodes, so compact all that, and it was like last minute. That's why it was like so garbage.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate, but oh well. So I guess we're just gonna end it there.
All right.
So yeah, go watch the G1 Japanese Headmasters, not the Rebirth.
Super
That's-
God Master Force is still the best, though. Admit it, James.
Oh, out of all of the three, I mean, I don't even count Zone. I mean, if you don't count Rebirth with 3 episodes, I'm not counting Zone. That's just 1 episode. So even though it's there, and I do like Zone because it was going a different, really cool direction. But yeah, Master Force is the best. I mean, it's the longest out of them, and you get really cool characters.
Development, yeah.
You get
And
the
you would-
kids. They're not annoying. The human characters are not annoying as they are in later Transformers series or even prior. I mean, Spark, Plug, and Arce. I mean, not Arcee, but Carly, Chip, Daniel, even.
Well, they have purpose too.
Yeah, and the whole thing is the war is all about the humans now being the ones that can actually contribute and fight their own battle in a way. It's great. But if you guys want to outro yourselves, starting with Dalton.
I'm Dalton. You can find me everywhere on at Daltonians TFs. I don't know why that was so hard to do that time.
I don't know. You want me to do it for you?
No.
No? All right. Fine.
I like it whenever he forgets his own like YouTube channel and stuff like that.
Josh.
You can find me G1 Hexatron on Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram, and my Facebook page, the G1 Hexatron.
And Torrance.
Find on Facebook at Trents5 and YouTube at Trents5.
Cool. And I'm Victory Saber 77. You can find me on Twitter and YouTube, and there's several other shows you should check out. There is the eBay show every other Thursday on G1 Hexatron's channel at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, and it will be airing this Thursday, October 30th. There's also the Covenant of Primus Topic Show, which airs every other Wednesday, which will be airing this Wednesday on Primal Sabbath's channel at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. There's also the Aftercast, which you are here now, and we also have the Cybercast every Saturday on G1 Hexatron's channel at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. So we will catch you on those channels, and thank you again for watching, and we'll see you next week.
All right, peace.
Bye.